I'll repeat quickly, good win against Fresno State. Very important game tomorrow against Utah State. Utah State's won 3 out of 4 and probably should have won 4 out of 4. They had Vegas down 5, shooting 2 free throws with under a minute to go in regulation and lost in overtime. And I'm sure they're saying we should have won that game, which would have put them on a 4-game win streak and tied with us. So this is a team that is as well coached as any in the country. They run more sets than anybody in the country. And they mix up their defenses, and they're a hard team to play. So we're smart enough to know this will be an important game for both teams tomorrow. I did statistics. You don't like to read. I don't like to talk on statistics, but they're number 1 in field goal percentage, 47. Number 1 three-point field goal, 47. Number 2 in scoring defense to us. Number 1 in field goal defense at 38%. Number 1 in block shots. Number 1 in assist to turnovers. Number 2 in three-point field goal defense to us. This is a good team. This is a very good team we're playing. People said, well, they lost all those players, and Jalen Moore is the only person they have back. They're good. This is a good team, and we know it, and we expect to play well. We've been very good, especially at home, and we have great respect for the team coming in here. Anything for me.
Coach, you mentioned how well coached Utah State was with Stu Morrill. He announced still this is going to be his last season. So what's it like for you, just from a coach's perspective, seeing across the court, seeing him, several times throughout the past years? What's it going to be like coaching against him for the last time, unless you guys play in the tournament? But this might be the last game you play against him.
I had never played against the Stu Morrill coach team until last year. We played them 3 times. But I have known him. I've got great respect for him, the job that he's done in all those years. It's not like he's a one-hit wonder.
Right.
He has been successful everywhere he's been. He garners immense respect within our fraternity. And I think to do it as long as he has, as efficiently as he has, with such style and grace, he's a credit to the profession. And you hate to see those guys no longer there. So when the game starts, you'll just be trying to do something to help your team be successful. You don't think about who's sitting on the other bench.
Coach, I'm looking at, since we're talking statistics today, you're shooting markedly better on the road than you are at home, yet you're 12-0 at home. And usually teams that have long win streaks do, because they shoot real well, they're comfortable with the arena. You guys have obviously done it other ways. Why do you think that is?
I really don't know. We practice in here almost every day, so we're much more familiar with the surroundings than the opponent coming in. We've been successful here in no small part because of our crowd. Our crowd has been a 6th man for us. They have helped us win games. They know that, we know that. We're going to continue to need that. We're a team that guards, and I think we've made it hard for people to get clean looks. Our MO should be hard twos. Make them take and make hard twos. We'll be challenged again tomorrow. This team makes over 8 threes a game. But why we shoot better here, I don't know. Or shoot better on the road, I'm not sure. We guard pretty effectively both home and away. And the statistic I'm most concerned with, even though I rambled off all these crazy statistics, is did you win? Did you win? Did you find a way to win? And sometimes it happens in a variety of ways. Sometimes you make 19 out of 25 free throws. Another time you may shoot less than 50%, but be so good defensively that you make it hard for them to score. And I think we have got a crew that they have found ways to win. And that's a credit to our team, led by our veteran seniors, J.J. O'Brien and Akil Quinn.
The opposing teams, just by the same token, are shooting 35% in here this season, which is incredibly low. How does crowd fuel defense? You always hear about crowd fueling offensive runs. giving teams offensive confidence, but how does it fuel defense?
I think that it probably works two ways. It maintains the energy and extra edge you have to have as a defensive player for us. But it can also at times be a bit intimidating for an opponent that feels that energy for the other side. So I think it works both ways. I think you miss a couple and you're at home, you can get a crowd to keep you going to make the next couple. You miss a couple on the road and you get a crowd going, and it could have the opposite effect. I've watched enough tape on this team. I mean, they've shot the ball against good teams on the road. So we're going to have to guard. We're going to have to guard with great energy and intelligence as to how we defend them.
Last thing on that, do you think your crowd, through the years, as it becomes more educated as a college basketball community, has started to appreciate defensive stops more? Do you sort of feel the crowd's energy more when you're on defense than maybe you used to? They appreciate a 24-second violation, 35-second violation, or steal, or a bad shot from the other team.
That's a very good point. I think that's true. I think the more others say, boy, they're good defensively, rather than say, boy, they can't score, it gets your fans to appreciate a huge part of being successful, and that's how you defend and how you guard consistently for 35 seconds for 40 minutes. So I think it's just a perception that has grown where our fans now have come to say, if they make a couple of shots, they go, what's going on? They're making a shot. And when we stop them, they get excited like we do to say, can they stop them again? Can they make another stop? So I think our fans are that way now, more so than they were before.
You mentioned, their high field goal percentage on offense. Do you think that's a part of just how, like you said, they run most offensive sets in the conference, just the way they're coached, or is it just talent, shooters?
I think it's a variety of things. I think it's all the different formations that they present to you in terms of how they get their shots. It's not, here's what they're going to do. They run a multitude of set plays. They run like us. They run an early offense where you miss, or run an early offense to try to get a quick score. But they brought in 2 junior college players that are both starting that can shoot the ball. Jalen Moore will leave there as one of the premier players that they've ever had at Utah State, and he's their 6'8" sophomore. Their big guy in the middle, he's a freshman, but he's a 35-year-old freshman, or it feels like it. I mean, he knows what he's doing. It may be his first year playing, but he's no rookie. He's good. They have a good team that they know how to play. They take advantage of openings. They can pass that ball, and you can't give them open shots. They make open shots.
Some of the players say at this point in conference play, based off scouting and whatnot and watching film, they know pretty much every team and what they like to do. If Utah State with all their offensive sets, is it kind of hard to know pretty much everything that they're going to throw at you?
It is. It is. But we tell our team, you have to be true to your basics, to your principles, to what we ask you to do. That doesn't change. Your principles as to how you defend should not change. You need to have a hover hand. You need to guard smart. You need to not let them get straight line drive. You need to know how to play side ball screens. You need to know how to play the post. So all those things, they don't change. How it comes about getting there, that's a tricky part, because all of a sudden they're there. And if you're just a little bit late, whether it be mentally or physically, then they have the ability to take advantage of that on you.
How much of an advantage is it to have a guy like Brian Dutcher when you play a team like this, knowing how good he is with film, how good he is with scouts to help prepare you for a team that runs multiple sets?
Brian Dutcher is the best there is. And I say that not having worked with everybody, obviously, but nobody could be better than he at taking a film, watching it for 30 minutes and being able to tell you, here's what we have to do. Here's how we have to do it. He's sensational along that line. And it translates also to game day. It's not like we're rocks sitting on the bench that put a game plan in and don't have the ability to tweak it, to change it if necessary. He's the catalyst behind that. He's very, very good and very effective and efficient in what he does and how he does it. He's really good.
Coach, do you expect Foley to be back this season?
I don't know. I don't know whether he'll be back or not. We're hopeful that he will. He has been given clearance to start under supervision, limited activity that's under trainer or doctor watch, which is a start, which is a good positive start. He's happy for that, and we are also, but whether he's back or not, I don't know.